Okay, Austin, please confirm we are all good so that we can start. Okay. So guys, the new task is called Human Verifier, and this is what is going to be happening. So we'll just do a brief overview of how the interface looks like and what you'll be doing for these particular tasks. So how it works, step one, you're supposed to watch a short clip on repeat, then confirm whether each description matches what the hands actually do. So for example, we have hold glass cup with left hand and scrub glass cup with sponge in right hand. Now let's look at the first description. Hold glass with left hand. Then our question should be, or our focus now should be on the left hand. Is the left hand really holding a glass cup? So you check. Yeah. So left hand is holding. So for this particular segment or part, you'll click tick. We'll see how you do it when you are doing our tasks. Then scrub glass cup with sponge in right hand. So is it actually happening with the right hand? So is the right hand really scrubbing glass cup with sponge? Then that's correct. Then how it works, this is step 2, verify 120 clips in 1 hour. So guys, this is very doable. I've done it myself, so 120 is very doable because these tasks are pretty simple and they are not long enough. So each clip takes about 30 seconds. Watch it loop, judge every description, answer the missing action question, and then submit. Verifiers typically get through around 120 clips an hour, so this is doable. So 120 clips in 1 hour after you are done with your practice clips. Then step 3, get paid. Payments go out twice a month on the 7th and 21st. So nothing changes. We are still following the same old payment plans. The minimum payout is $20. Balance below that roll into the next payout. So this has always been there. Now let's check at how you do your labels. So this is what you'll receive after you're done with your practice labels or practice tasks. So you'll start now reviewing the labels. So this is what you'll receive. So verify what the hands are doing, look at each description and confirm whether the hands actually do it. If wrong, tell us why. So let's look at one. So already this video is on loop. So we are only focused on what is written or what descriptions are provided in this particular area. So one, it says hold cloth with right hand. Then our focus is right hand. So what is the right hand doing? Is it holding cloth? So we can see right hand holds cloth. Then you tick the thumbs up. Okay. So if it were wrong, then you click the thumbs down and provide the reason why it is wrong. So now for part 1, this is correct, hold cloth with right hand. Then part 2, pass container from left hand to right hand. Okay, for this we can still mark it as correct. Then part 3, place container on stack with right hand. So is the right hand placing container on stack? Then you check. So right hand place on stack, that will be correct also. Then pick up container with left hand. So this is correct. They pick up container with left hand. You tick the thumbs up. Wipe container with cloth in right hand. Is the right hand wiping container with cloth? So you check out the video and confirm if it is correct. Then it is actually happening same thing. You tick thumbs up. Now, if anything is wrong, if we have any missed action, So you click yes. So if there are no missed actions, then you click no. So for this particular clip, we do not have any important missed action. So we will just click on no. Then wait, I submit and continue. Let me check. So this was right. This was right. Yeah, so once you are done choosing your correct labels, then you submit and continue. It's as simple as that. We do not require anything else. So let's do so one. Remember, guys, we look at the description and confirm whether the hands are actually doing it. So part one says hold container with left hand. So is this correct? Let me ask the chat. Is this correct? Hold container with left hand. No, no. So people are saying no. So if you were to choose no, what will be the choice? So which choice would you pick? So let's say you said no, so you tick thumbs down. So will it be wrong object, added object, missed object, wrong action, added action, wrong hand, or grammar? No, it is supposed to be with both hands. Hold container with both hands. Okay. Yeah, so hold container with left hand. We can see both hands on the container. So if this is wrong, left hand, then you say, or you pick wrong hand. Then hold spoon with right hand. Now, is the right hand holding a spoon? No, so we don't have any particular object as spoon. So tick thumbs down, then right, wrong object. Then also hold spoon was not there, so there was no holding of any object. So you can also pick wrong action. Then shake sponge with both hands. So check. Are both hands shaking sponge? So in this particular part, we do not see anywhere where they shake sponge or there is no object such as sponge. So sponge becomes a wrong object. Then shake container with both hands. Now this will be correct. Both hands shake the container. So you tick. Then ask yourself, is any important action missing? If yes, you tick yes. If no, you just say no. Then submit and continue. So basically that is what you are going to be doing for this particular human verifying tasks. Let me explain a bit. For this one, wrong object. Now we are focused on the object. Remember, all rules apply. And object interaction. So if you pick wrong object, then we really need to see that the object being referenced is actually that what happened or what interacted with the hand. So like part two, it says hold spoon. So spoon does not interact with the right hand. So that's why we pick wrong object. So when you have an added object, so you add an object that was not referenced within the labeling. Then missed object, a particular object was missed. So probably, let's say they were wiping cup from the first clip we saw. So they wipe cup with sponge. So they didn't reference sponge in that particular part. So you will say there's a missed object. Then wrong action means whatever is written did not actually happen. So that becomes a wrong action. Then added action, you are adding an action that is not happening with that particular segment. Then grammar and spelling. For grammar, probably we are having the ego picking several things. So let's say they are picking up 2 cups. So if you say pick up cup and yet we can see they are picking up 2 cups, then we can click on grammar. Spelling errors also, if they're having spelling errors within their labels, then you can click on spelling. Then submit and continue. Go to the other one. So pick up kettle with cloth in right hand. So is this correct? The right hand is picking up kettle. Then check at the clip, confirm whether it is true. Then shift tap on counter with left hand. Okay, now let me zoom this and you guys can tell me whether this is a tap. Yeah, so look at this and tell me whether this is a tap. Somebody says that's a flask. That's a thermos. Then, guys, some of these objects you have to Google them so that you get the real object name. Yeah, so you're allowed to Google as much as you want so that you can get their real object names. That's a flask, that's a thermos, grip thermos with left hand. Okay, so for part 2, shift cup on counter with left hand. So the left hand did not have an interaction with the cup, so click thumbs down, mark as wrong object. So basically, this is what you are going to be doing for your human verifier tasks. Yeah, so nothing else to it. I'll just take some questions, then you can go ahead and do your practice tasks. Start off with the labeling. Okay, now let me look at the chat and take your questions. What if our accounts are not yet upgraded to the human verifier? So this is only accessible to tier 3s. So you have to finish up with the assessments first so that you are able to access it. So for those who passed the assessments and were working on tier 3 tasks, they are able to access these tasks. Must you finish all episodes to be paid? So like I mentioned, the target is 120 clips per hour. So that is your target. So anytime you are on and working, please ensure that you are able to finish 120 clips per hour. I'm in tier 3 and I still can't access it, please. So if you're in tier 3 and you are not able to access it, please just contact the support. Austin is here. In fact, Austin has posted something that will help you guys. The explanations for wrong object, added object, and all that. So you can check Austin's message. Simon, clarify on difference between wrong action and added action. Yeah, also check Austin's message in this chat. You guys can screenshot that if you want to. Must the action be still really? Okay, Monakin, I don't get what your question is. That means 120 clips counts as 1 hour of work. So Saruni, that is the target that is kept. So you do 120 clips for 1 hour. In terms of payment, I'm not in a position to discuss payments. You will just see them in your dashboards. Yeah, but this work is pretty simple. So just focus on hitting the target and all will be good. Idrani, those who have already started doing 3 assessments, each of 10 videos, what about those? Will they stop there for this new process or they continue? Yeah, from what I saw, you're supposed to finish the assessment first so that you are able to access the human verifier because it's accessible to T3s. Yvonne, what does added action mean? We've pasted the descriptions. Austin has posted the descriptions. Alan, is it a must to finish 1640 in a day? Well, it depends with how you're working, but our target is 120 per hour. So anytime you are actively working, make sure you just hit the 120 target. workers, is any important action missing? Explain. So we basically said once you are done verifying the descriptions that are given, then you'll ask yourself, is any important action missing? So if we are having any important action missing, then you just tick yes. So you just watch the clip on loop. So anything that happens within that particular clip, if we are having a missing action, then you just click yes. If no, click no, then submit. Please, I have done the assessment and passed, but still haven't been promoted to human verifier. Which assessment? Are you talking about the human verifier practice or the other normal assessments? Yeah, so guys, if you have no other questions, then I believe we are all good. This is pretty simple and straightforward. You can go ahead and now do your practice and then start working on the tasks. Yeah, so guys, do you have any more questions or you are good at this point? We are unable to pass the screwdriver practice. Is that an error from Dev? Yeah, Kenneth. So make sure you're checking the descriptions well, because I noticed some of the mistakes trainees are doing. Some of the descriptions are correct, so you need to check the descriptions very well. And remember, we said we are focused on the hands, what the hands are doing. So if it is the right hand, is the right hand actually doing the action that is being labeled? Yeah, so check very well. If I do the human verifier assessment, I can automatically get the tasks without doing the first assessment. Yes, if you're able to access the human verifier practice, then just do the practice and you're able to access the tasks. Is there a place to read this too? Yeah, so once before you start your tasks or practice, that is COBSI, you are able to read through what is written. So there is an explanation before you start your practice. Yeah, so guys, I'll leave the workshop at this point. Austin, we are good. So they should be able to scale through. Yeah, so guys, goodbye. See you another time.